Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ryan Darwent Design here, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm gonna be showing you guys how to create designs like the Brooklyn Nets. I just pulled this graphic off their socials, and I just went about recreating it. This is my recreation, and this is the actual reference photo that I pulled from their socials. So I'm gonna just be breaking down the PSD, basically just how I went about making it, and then I'm also have a link to it in the description if you guys want to download it and play with it yourselves, so you guys can do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it with the background. It just started off with just a simple striped arrow. There's not too much going on. So to get that, I just got a regular arrow, cut it in half, and I just dragged it down like that. Control T to transform it and drag it down. And then I just duplicated it a bunch, and I put it I put it off at each's end like that. So I just kind of tagged them together, merged them, and then put them in their respective positions and lower the opacity on the group to 9%. So it's faded like it is in their graphic. Next up is the masks. So I just found pictures of KD in similar positions and cut them out and put a couple effects on them to help them pop a little bit. So I have camera raw, topaz, selective color, and then the shadows for the text, as you can see there. So you can ignore that for now, But to do camera raw, I'll walk through all of these. Just copy your group, rasterize it, and create a clipping mask. Go to filter, camera raw filter. And then just play with this first panel here. Exposure, contrast, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, texture, clarity, dehaze, etc. Until you get something that you like. So your settings, there's not going to be like a set settings that you use for each one. All pictures show up differently, so just play with it and get something that you like. But that's basically that. Once you finish that, you can just press OK and make sure it's back on the clipping mask. And then to do topaz, so topaz is actually an external program. I'll have a link to it in the description. It's pretty easy to install. Just download it, and then there's an installer, and it'll automatically go into your Photoshop. So once you have that there, copy these two layers, merge them, put them back on the clipping mask. Filter, topaz labs, topaz adjust. Then once you're in here, go to under the stylized collection, go to vivacious, and under finishing touches, go to transparency, and you can set this here so it's more or less apparent. I'm gonna put it around 80, and then I'm gonna throw one more effect on it, psychedelic, put it at like 82, and then if I press apply, it'll allow me to keep doing more, or I can press OK if I'm just good with where I'm at, and I could close it out. So you can lower the opacity on it and get to something you like. So with those out of the way, the next thing is the selected color groups. This is just in your adjustment panel. Selective color basically just allows you to control how certain colors show up. So you can have a red be brighter like that, or darker, more neutral, more yellow, as you can see here. So green, like shoot, you could play with it however you want. But just play with all these settings here until you get something you like. And since there's two pictures of KD here, for the selective color, use that to make sure that the skin tones match up, because you don't have two pictures of the same person and have them be different colors or just different skin tones or whatever. You want to keep them as consistent and close as possible. So once you get that figured out, you're good there. The text shadow will make more sense after this. And all that's left for this front mask is the reflection. So to do that, just copy and merge the group, Control T and drag it down to flip it like that, so it's at the bottom of his feet. And go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and put it at around like 3 is fine. Get a layer mask, and you can press Control I to flip it. I need to turn this reflection layer off, put it underneath the mask, and then you could just brush it in with a feathered brush like that. Just a couple clicks is good, and you'll see it's pretty similar. It creates that kind of fade away effect that they have on theirs. So that's that. For the back mask, pretty simple, same stuff. Just cut out KD using whatever, pen tool, quick selection, select subject, whatever you use, and just camera raw, topaz, selective color to make it pop. You can see the difference it makes. It kind of brings out the textures and just makes him pop just a little more, stand out. So, and the text is pretty self-explanatory. So I actually found the same exact font they use. It's called Integral CF, and so I just tried my best to line it up, and you can see font sizes, whatever positioning, it's all relatively the same. The only thing I want to explain here is the depth perception with KD. So to do this, just copy the front mask. You can merge it, put it on a clipping mask to the text group, And then, so you want to have him cut out, so you can use a layer mask to do that. So he's in front of the L, but behind the A, which is where the shadow from earlier comes in. So I'll just use the pen tool and then make a selection and put it on a layer mask, so it shows up only where he's over the L. A little more shading, but this will go underneath the mask, so it's like behind his leg, so it's like you can see him on the L, or his shadow on the L, to help with that depth perception. But that's really all that is there. There's not too much else to explain here. It's pretty self-explanatory graphic, but I just wanted to try and recreate it as close as I could, like one-to-one. But that's that. I mean, if you have any questions, leave them down below. If you got any teams that I haven't already recreated, let me know in the comments that you want me to recreate, and I could do that. As I said earlier, there's a download link in the description for the PSD. If you guys want to play with that, feel free. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Peace out.